All right. Here we go, back again on the other side of the coin. All right, welcome back to the other side of the coin, ladies and gentlemen. Back again with another live stream, bringing you the latest in Chelsea transfer news, Chelsea news, all that jazz. Hope each and every one of you guys are doing well wherever you guys are. Me personally, alhamdulillah, I am doing good. By the grace of the Almighty Allah, I'm doing fine. And look, lots of Caicedo conversation to be had, ladies and gentlemen. You know, Falan, calmer means calmer. Now I'm a lot more calmer now. But I think, you know, all that conversation, all those information that we were given. Starboy saying, "Bro, you look tired." Yeah, man, this Caicedo stuff, it's sapping all my energy out, man. Jordan saying, "Fab tweet." Okay, you're killing a Miz Raid 96. Thank you. Let me just bring up what Fabulous has tweeted out before we get into it. Let's see if he's actually put out anything worthwhile in regards to Caicedo. Mr. Fabulous, 2 minutes ago, Sporting will officially compete. Now, I don't really care about that. 3 minutes ago, David Dutra Fofana, we already knew that. 1 hour ago, Moisés Caicedo, Chelsea talks, Brighton want 90 to 100 million. Chelsea among Gabri Vega suitors. Eli Wahi, latest situation explained. What next for ex-Chelsea man João Felix? I need to watch that particular YouTube video, so I'm not really sure what's going on there. So nothing really up to date in regards to any of this news from Fabrizio at the moment. But there's been some tweets that's been circulated around by Chelsea Dodgers. So yeah, look, ladies and gentlemen, there was a whole heap of conversations that was taking place in regards to Caicedo 2-3 weeks ago, that we should be able to get Caicedo for about 80 to 85 million. Yeah, the floating price was about 100 million, but a lot of the journalists were saying that 80 to 85 million should get the job done. And then the Declan Rice transaction happened, and since then, all the journalists are referring to that particular price tag. And even now, Fabrizio Romano, ladies and gentlemen, even Fabrizio Romano is now saying the same sort of stuff. This is the latest that was tweeted out by Chelsea Dodger literally about an hour ago. Fabrizio Romano via Court Offside. Brighton feels they can get something like 90 to 100 million for Moisés Caicedo. It's not easy because of Declan Rice. Still, like, this is legit now. This is the guy, Fabrizio Romano, who I was, focusing on a lot in this particular transfer saga, because he seemed like he had everything down to the T. And even now, he's saying Brighton feel that they can get 90 to 100 million. I mean, ladies and gentlemen, what do we do now? What do we do now? I suppose this is how I look at it. There's some lessons to be learned here. Lesson number one, we have to make sure we don't get into this scenario with Brighton ever again. Like, we need to start building our team from a long time. Like, we need to have a vision. We need to be building teams proactively. That's what I'm trying to get to. We have to be building teams proactively. We can't simply just, trot along and just move along, and then as soon as we see a superstar player elsewhere, we're having to break the bank. We're having to negotiate massively to get the job done. Like, for instance, Ryan Cherki. Ryan Cherki is probably going to be, in my opinion, a very, very top player, right? He's not going to be sticking around in Lyon for too long. If we want to get him right now, we should think about getting him right now, as opposed to when he's 80, 90, 100 million down the track. Caicedo, we're in this situation because it seems like we don't have any other alternative. Few people are talking about Amrabat, RS7. RS7 seems like Man United's reaching out to Amrabat, man. Amrabat at one stage was looking at Barcelona, and now Man United. Man United, I have to admit. Do you know what I mean? Like Andre Onana, top-notch goalkeeper that they're getting. Mason Mount's still a very, very decent midfielder. Obviously, I've got my doubts around their midfield. They need ball players in their midfield. They're looking to perhaps add Amrabat, and they're looking to add a striker, that Danish striker. So, they, as much as we were laughing about Man United, it seems like they've gone around, probably doing the business in the right manner. We, on the other hand, like I'm not having a go at our football club. Hoyland, yeah, that's right, RS7. Look, I'm not having a go at our football club. I think we've done supremely well to get rid of a whole heap of players, which is a task in itself. It's not an easy feat at all to get rid of so many players that we've got rid of, and we're still getting rid of quite a few more. Lukaku being the latest story, which is another thorn in our transfer window. But we seem to be in the mess in regards to incomings. And maybe this is why we are getting a lot of the youngsters, so that we can set ourselves up for the future, that if any of those youngsters that we've bought turn out to be superstars, then we don't have to break the bank, this, that, the other. We can simply just pluck them out and then put them into Chelsea's first team. But I sincerely don't want Chelsea Football Club to be in this crazy situation with Brighton, and it seems like it's with Brighton over and over again. Last season, last summer window, Mark Cucurella, a lot of money that was spent on Mark Cucurella, and I think a lot extra bit of money that was paid to Cucurella is because they wanted Levi Colwell. They wanted to buy Levi Colwell, and we said, "Nah, you can have him on a loan." And that's why they jacked up the price for Cucurella a little bit more. They bought Billy Gilmour for us for peanuts, and now it seems like Billy Gilmour's probably this season. Billy Gilmour will turn into a 50 million midfielder, and then you'll see a whole heap of other bigger clubs reaching out to Brighton to get Billy Gilmour of them. We need to build our own gems. We need to nurture our own gems because, yeah, man, I mean, dealing with clubs like Brighton or Inter Milan, man, they'll squeeze as much as money out of you because they know. Look, I can't even actually have a go at Brighton at all, if I'm being absolutely honest. Brighton's only doing what is the best interest for Brighton. So I can sit here and be upset with Brighton as much as I want, but they're only doing what they feel is the right thing for their football club. So, look, all I'm going to say is right now how I feel is we are so neck deep on Moisés Caicedo. We need this player, ladies and gentlemen. I can see some of you guys are not happy. Some of you guys want Amrabat. Look, I'm not even sure whether we even started talking to Amrabat. I know it probably doesn't take that long to just get the interest going. But as I said, Man United seem to be on the Amrabat wagon at the moment. We've done so much work on Caicedo. How do you just drop all of that and just leave now? You can't. And Brighton, honestly, they've got us by the balls. They've literally got us by the balls. Brighton have got us by the balls. And they've got a reference point. They've got a reference point with Declan Rice. They're going to say that, look, yeah, sure, Declan Rice has been in the Premier League for a long time, longer time than Caicedo. English international, captain of West Ham. Obviously, that English tax, that's going to be included, no problems. But Brighton could easily just turn around and say, what's it to say that Caicedo is not better than Declan Rice? So why shouldn't he be worth more than Declan Rice? So, look, man, I think we might just have to do this transaction. And apparently, I didn't know this. Correct me if I'm wrong, live chat. Nearly 350 of you guys are live right now. Smash the like button, guys. Get those likes up. And if you're here for the first time, subscribe. I didn't know this, ladies and gentlemen. Apparently, Arsenal in January put in a 90 million bid for Caicedo. Is that right? That's been floating around. So apparently, Brighton are saying that, well, we rejected 90 million for this particular player in January. How are we going to take something less than 90 million now? For me, the way I look at that is it's circumstances. Do you know what I mean? Like 90 million was rejected in January because you wanted to keep the player. But now, you know, you've got an agreement with the player that you're going to let go of that player. So potentially, you know, there could be a bit of a discount. You wanted to keep that player in January. That's why you rejected 90 million. So I'm not sure. Redom is saying, first time I'm hearing this. Now that can't be right. Yes, someone was saying yesterday, someone somewhere in Twitter, might have been Alex Goldberg's space. I think it might have even been Alex that was saying that apparently Arsenal bid 90 million for Caicedo, and Brighton knocked that back. Now, I don't know. Look, you know, Alex seems to have quite a bit of inside knowledge on Arsenal lately. He's the one who broke that news in regards to Havertz. So, yeah, I thought it was around the 70 mark as well. I thought it was about 75. But anywho, Chelsea Empire, thank you so much for the super chat. Brighton can get lost. Zubimendi and Varela from Boca Juniors are perfect to play alongside Enzo. 50 million clause for Zubi and less than 40 million for Varela. Onana for 40 to 45 million opens more money for a striker. Yeah, I don't understand why we're not after Zubimendi. Zubimendi is such a fantastic defensive midfielder. I mean, he's had a stellar season for Real Sociedad. I've watched quite a few matches as well of Real Sociedad when Zubimendi's name was getting thrown around. He's a sensational defensive midfielder. I don't know why we're not in for him. Maybe Pochettino is after Caicedo as well. You know, Premier League proven, this, that, the other. Matt Law apparently has dropped something. We're going to get to that. Director Danby, thank you so much for the super chat. Caicedo wants Chelsea. Relax, guys. It's director. It's not about what Caicedo wants or doesn't want. We all know Caicedo wants Chelsea. I'm still confident we're gonna get Caicedo. That's not my issue. My issue is it's taking too long, man. Now, like, this player should be our player right away, and it's in regards to this price. We thought that it was going to be 80 to 85 million. Now it looks like it's 90 to 100 million. So it's a matter of, you know, do we just pay whatever Brighton says and just accept it and move on, or do we stick to our price and, you know, put a stance down? Because this is why all of these other clubs, they take us for a ride, director. This is why all of these other clubs, you know, they want to pump the highest amount of money on us. Anytime Liverpool want to get a player, they go get away with like 35, 40 million max. We want to buy a player, 70, 80, 90, 100 million. Somewhere along the way, we need to change this reputation. So it's not about Caicedo wanting Chelsea or not. We know Caicedo wants Chelsea. And I'm still confident we're going to get Caicedo. It's just a matter of how long is this going to drag out for, man? How long is this going to drag out for? Because this is it. This is the last week, and then everyone travels for USA. I don't want any excuses next season. Oh, Caicedo came, you know, a week before Premier League started, so, you know, we didn't get enough time to work on you know, player chemistry and this, that, the other. So I don't want to talk about all of that. All right, people are talking about Matt Law. See what he has to say. Look what he tweeted. Romelu Lukaku is set to miss Chelsea's return date as he waits for Inter Milan move. Nice. Good. I don't want him to come back. All right, let's keep that on Romelu Lukaku news. I had Lukaku news penciled down. So we'll touch on the Caicedo. We'll wrap the Caicedo stuff up. Chelsea will push again this week for Moisés Caicedo. This was late last night UK. And the player is still hoping to join for Chelsea. This is an important week in terms of contacts. It's also not easy for me as a journalist to tell you about this deal because, as I explained, both clubs are in direct contact. It's not daily bidding, so it's hard to see new reports as it's just exchange of dialogue at the moment. I mean, this is coming from Fabrizio Romano. It's just exchanging dialogues. Exchange of dialogues. Come on, guys. We got preseason matches coming up very, very soon. And we're just doing exchanging dialogues at the moment. What dialogues are we exchanging? We've been, it's been approximately, this will be the third week, right? So it's been 2 weeks since we got rid of a whole heap of players. So, and in fact, we've been talking about Caicedo longer than 2 weeks, longer than 3 weeks since the transfer window opened up. When people were saying it's not Ugarte, it's Ugarte and Caicedo. So, exchanging dialogues should have happened a long time back. Now we should be wrapping things up. We should be finalizing things. You look at the way Liverpool moves with some of their players. I know now they're sort of still thinking about Romeo Lavia or this, that, the other, but the way they moved on with McAllister, that was swift. The way they moved on to Dominic Szoboszlai. How long did Dominic Szoboszlai deal take? Can someone tell me how long did Dominic Szoboszlai deal took Chelsea, took Liverpool? It felt like Dominic Szoboszlai transfer saga was literally like a couple of days. I know there was a release clause. I understand that. With Caicedo, there isn't any release clause, so it makes it difficult. I get that, but oh man, Kingsley Twum, thank you so much for the super chat. This deal is like the Enzo deal, Bowley takeover. Yeah, you're right, man. It is like the Enzo deal. Milo, good to see you, my man. Means we don't need Caicedo. We need a player who will fill a DM role. There are players. The only reason why Caicedo is talked about is because he can also do extra like ball retention and progression. Yeah, look, there's no denying that he's a superb defensive midfielder. There's no doubting that. And we've had our interest. Yeah, Dippo, yeah, it probably took about 3 days, the Dominic Szoboszlai deal. Yeah, look, there's no denying that Caicedo is a superb midfielder. And we've been interested in Caicedo for a little while. Even last summer, we were somewhat interested. Obviously, January, Arsenal were interested, but so were we. And maybe now Pochettino is extremely keen on Caicedo as well. We've got Paul Winstanley, who knows a lot about Caicedo, being from Brighton, ex-Brighton director over there. So, as I said, we are so deep into this relationship. It's too difficult to come out now. Do you know what I mean? It's like we've been married for 8, 9, 10 years, and we've got 3 kids. It's too difficult. How are you going to break this up now? How do you break this up? You can't break this up. It's too difficult. Even though there might be some mad, nice, fine honeys out there, waiting for you, and you could potentially latch onto them, but it's too difficult. You're too connected. You've got a missus, you got kids, the kids are starting to go to school. We are too neck deep. We are too neck deep with this Caicedo situation. And now you're going to have to finish it off. Because Caicedo's agents were wrong for allowing him to sign a new contract without a release clause. Yeah, do you know what? I don't see too many release clauses in the Premier League. I think Jack Grealish's one his one wasn't a release clause, but I think his one was if a Champions League club came to purchase him, then they have to pay 100 million. So it's more or less like a release clause. I think Jack Grealish was the last one that I heard was a release clause, but yeah, not too many players in the Premier League has a release clause. So yeah, Maybe they need to start thinking about this. Maybe they need to start thinking about it. The deal for Moisés Caicedo will get done. I don't know if it's just me, but I trust the owners and our board. The way we ended up getting Enzo Fernandez last season and clear out for Deadwood. Look, okay, there seems to be a misconception here. No one is denying that we're not going to get Caicedo. I'm still very confident, and I'm pretty sure you guys are very confident we're going to get Caicedo. That's not the problem. The problem is, are we going to get dragged? Are we going to, it's taking a long time. Will it take even more longer time? It seems like we're going to play with Brighton's terms as opposed to our terms. We said 80 to 85 million. Brighton wants 90 to 100 million. So what do we do? Do we just go, okay, Brighton, no problems. This is what you asked. Here it is. Here's the money. Give me the player. That's the issue right now. The issue isn't, are we going to get Caicedo or not? Caicedo wants to leave Brighton Football Club. Caicedo is still going around liking all of Chelsea's Instagram posts. Caicedo liked the Chelsea new kit. The new kit, launching of the new kit yesterday. Caicedo went around liking all of that. So Caicedo wants to be at Chelsea Football Club. And I'm pretty certain he'll come to us. It's a matter of, this is where your reputation gets damaged in the market. And I'm going to talk about that very soon with Romelu Lukaku. All these other rival clubs, they want to take us for a mad run. Do you know what I mean? BIPN is saying he's liking Real Madrid posts too. Okay, well, maybe Real Madrid, he's interested in Real Madrid as well. In life, no limits. Big up, Miz. You're right. I don't blame Brighton for being bullish. I blame us. I think this is why we are going after younger players. But as a fan base, we also need to be patient with the players. Now, you're right. I think this is one of the reasons why we are piling on the young players so that, we don't have to face these dramas on a regular basis. I know every now and then we're going to come across another superstar that we want, but I hope we can identify the superstars well before. Like the way Benfica did with Enzo Fernandez in River Plate, like the way Man City did with Julian Alvarez from River Plate. I hope we can start doing that. And it looks like we are. We are tapping up in the Brazilian league. We looked at players from Santos. We looked at players from Vasco da Gama and many more. So we're heavily invested in the Brazilian league. So hopefully there's a gem that comes through for us. So let's see what happens. But yeah, for me, honestly, ladies and gentlemen, I do not want to deal with Brighton ever again after this. All right, before we move on to the Lukaku news, ladies and gentlemen, we've got well over 520 people live right now. Just for a second, ladies and gentlemen, smash the like button. Pump those likes up to 400. I would love to see 400 likes immediately. We'll just chill for a little bit. Just pump those likes up, ladies and gentlemen. You guys are here on a regular basis. I'm here on a regular basis with you guys. I love spending this 30, 35 minutes with you guys. It's the best time for me all throughout the day. After a hard day's work, this is what I enjoy the most, spending time with you guys and talking about Chelsea Football Club. So pump those likes up, ladies and gentlemen. Get it to 400 immediately. And if you're here for the first time, subscribe. We are racing towards 25,000 subscribers, ladies and gentlemen. Pump those subscriptions up. So if you're here for the first time, subscribe. Okay, next up. Latest news has dropped from Matt Law in regards to Romelu Lukaku. I'm not surprised by this. I'm actually very happy. I didn't want to see this guy at Chelsea Football Club, period. So I'm glad he is not looking to return to Chelsea. Romelu Lukaku is set to miss his Chelsea return date as he waits for Inter Milan move. I wonder how Pochettino is going to handle this situation, because Poch, if you remember, in his first press conference said Romelu Lukaku is coming back this week and he fully expects him to see him in his office so they can have a discussion. Looks like Romelu Lukaku ain't going to be coming to Chelsea Football Club and there ain't going to be no discussion, no meeting. And I wanted that. I said this a couple of videos ago that I don't want Pochettino to talk to Romelu Lukaku. I don't want Romelu Lukaku to talk to Pochettino. I don't need Pochettino to get infested by this disease, by this Lukaku disease. So hopefully, ladies and gentlemen, we find a resolution very, very soon. But here's another pathetic football club taking us for a ride. Much like Brighton, here's another one that is taking us for a ride. Broke Inter Milan. Look at this. Look at this, ladies and gentlemen. Inter Milan are planning a new offer for Romelu Lukaku for at least 30 to 35 million euros. We have told these guys, Inter Milan, 40 million pounds, Great British pounds, 40 million. This is what Saudi Arabia has on the table for us. Saudi Arabia are the only club that has got 40 million ready for us to rock and roll. But these guys, it's like they don't know anything. I don't know anything. I've got no idea. He's 30 to 35 million. Like, it's so ridiculous dealing with this football club. 30 to 35 million. I hope Chelsea by no means accept this one bit. Make it difficult. Make it difficult for Romelu Lukaku. I don't really care. If he doesn't want to come to Chelsea Football Club, no problems. I'm not one bit interested in him to come back. But hopefully that will force him to accept Saudi Arabia. We've lost enough money on Romelu Lukaku. This guy, we bought him for hell of a lot of money. And he went back to the club that we bought him from. Bought him for about 100 million. And in the first season, he flopped. And then he went back to the club that we bought him from. And now he wants to go back there again. I mean, talk about what a mammoth level of disaster class this has been. So no way, ladies and gentlemen. If he wants to go to Inter Milan, no problems. But 30 to 35 million, never ever that's gonna happen. Vlavic, yeah, we're gonna get to that Vlavic news very soon. If he loves them so much, he should effing pay the rest of the price tag himself to leave. Yeah, you know what? Why don't you cover the gap, Romelu Lukaku? Why don't you go ahead and cover the gap? Mish, Inter really bent us over a barrel. Yeah, man. They absolutely bent us over. Redom is saying the guy wants to convince us instead of convincing Inter. This guy thought bringing his lawyer will get the deal done. Yeah, it's mad, man. I hate this guy so much, man. I'm so annoyed by Romelu Lukaku. What a nightmare he has been. Absolute nightmare. Big up, Miz. Have you seen the latest tweet that Lukaku will not return to Chelsea as he wants the deal to Inter get sorted? Yeah, 100%. We saw that. Here it is. So, yeah, that's a bit about Romelu Lukaku, ladies and gentlemen. I mean, right now, Caicedo news is annoying me with Brighton, and similarly with Romelu Lukaku into Milan. They're just, look at this, man. Poultry figures being thrown at us. 30 to 35 million euros. Like, these guys, they have no shame. They really have no shame. All right, next up, ladies and gentlemen. Advaid, big up to you, my man. Vince tweet, Cho. All right, let's have a look at Vince's tweet in regards to Callum HudsonAdoi. Yeah, he needs to go as well, by the way. Callum HudsonAdoi. I don't understand why he's finding it so difficult to find a club. Callum HudsonAdoi is thought to be training away from Chelsea's main group after deciding that he wants to leave the club permanently and returning for preseason last week. Yep. That's not new. That's not new news. We knew that Callum HudsonAdoi was part of the other group. So that's not really news. He needs to leave. Callum HudsonAdoi needs to leave pronto. Romelu Lukaku is not planning to return to Chelsea on Wednesday. Chelsea had given him a return date to restart preseason training at a deal for his exit not being agreed, but he's expected to stay away regardless of whether or not Inter's new bid is accepted. I mean, this guy, we had a date for him to return back, and he's still disregarding all of that as well. Like, I'm fine. I don't want him, but I'm just saying, like, the arrogance of this guy. Like, there was a sort of a thought that we should hopefully have a deal done and dusted before the return date came about, and then after that he would need to come back, but he doesn't want to come back. So you can see the arrogance of this particular player. Ms. Lautaro, Vlahovic, to be honest, neither. But look, Vlahovic a tad bit more, because I think he would probably fit. He would fit the Premier League a lot more. Ms. Fab Tweet, brother, is this an old Fab Tweet, or because we've been now streaming for more than 30 minutes, so we've looked at all the latest Fab Tweets, unless you're talking about something a while back. Oh, Chelsea stuff. Okay. Understand Chelsea have finally signed all documents with Santos for Angela Gabriel deal. Told 2004-born talent will complete the second part of the medical test tomorrow, then travel to USA with Chelsea. Deal worth 15 million euros. Fee club will decide on loan after USA tour. There you go. So, yeah, let's see. Let's see if some of these players turn out to be superstars for us. So, there's talks that he's potentially going to go to Strasbourg on loan. So we'll see. We'll see what happens there. Coming back to our news now. Thank you, Unlisted, by the way. That was actually new news. Chelsea have inquired about Vlahovic. Juventus wants 65 to 70 million. There you go, ladies and gentlemen. Here's another player, 65 to 70 million, even though his last 12 months haven't been that great. But Juventus wants 65 to 70 million. I know a few people will say, we got top money for Havertz. But yeah, Havertz, I don't think Chelsea were actively looking to sell Havertz. It was the fact that Arsenal were quite interested in Havertz, and they didn't haggle or anything. They just came in and took the player for 65 million. Whereas Vlahovic, it's not like Chelsea's absolutely, like, you heard what Fabrizio Romano said yesterday, that Chelsea's not in contact with Juventus one bit. I know Alfredo Padella is saying here Chelsea have inquired about Vlahovic, but once again, I rather trust Fabrizio with this news. Chelsea are not focusing on Vlahovic at the moment, because all the focus is on Moisés Caicedo. Yet Juventus, they're going around slapping 65 to 70 million. So that's a hefty fee. That is seriously a hefty fee. You'd think someone like Vlahovic, we could potentially get him for 50 million. But nah, 65 to 70 million. All of these players from rival teams go for such good money. But when it comes to our players, man, we have to work our backsides off to get our players out of our books. 65 to 70 million. Look, out of the names that's been thrown around, Lautaro Martinez, Vlahovic, I think those are the two names really floating about. I get the feeling we're probably going to get Vlahovic, I do get the feeling we're going to get Vlahovic. I have this feeling that Pochettino is looking for a striker, and he's most likely going to land Vlahovic. But 65 to 70 million, I don't know, man. That's just, he's another player who has done exceptionally well at Fiorentina. Can he transfer all of that skill set in the Premier League and do a madness for us in the Premier League? Lukaku banged a lot of goals in Serie A. Many other players have banged a lot of goals in Serie A. Can they definitely transfer that skill set to the Premier League? I don't know, man. I don't know. Look, I'm not going to be sad if we get Vlahovic. It is what it is. Maybe Vlahovic could do well under good talent surrounding him in the likes of Nkunku, in the likes of Enzo Fernandez. So maybe someone like Vlahovic could potentially do well. And I just have this odd feeling we're probably going to get Vlahovic, I know PSG are interested in Vlahovic, But we'll see. We'll see. Lukaku should be fined daily for not showing up at training. We don't want him, so we shouldn't pay his full salary for chilling at home. 100%. I hope we're not paying for any part of his wages. His brother, what you did to Mason Mount was not KL. We will regret that Mount decision for years. He will blow up at Manchester. All right, mate. Like, we'll see. We'll see. It is what it is. We've seen enough of Mason Mount at Chelsea Football Club, and once again, for the past 18 months, he wasn't good. And look, I don't want to talk about the Mason Mount situation. He's not our player anymore. If he blows up at Man United, he blows up. Who cares? Like, Kai Havertz as well. I'm more concerned about who's going to blow up at our football club. The new players that we're getting, who's going to blow up there? I don't really care anymore about Mason Mount, Kai Havertz. It's over. That saga's done. I don't even want to talk about that anymore. Chelsea gets cooked in the transfer window due to the precedence Marina and her crew set. I believe that's why Bowley is focusing on getting talent so clubs cease to see Chelsea as a buying club. Now, you're right, man. We have to change this. We have to change this outlook. Did you see Chelsea fans on Twitter saying they don't want Vlahovic because him and Broja will have a fight? Serbian-Albanian beef going on. Oh, my days. But yeah, it is a interesting topic. What is the case with Broja, right? Like, what is our plan with Armando Broja? What if Broja does really well in this preseason? Then what? But I guess the question is, if he doesn't do well, he's copped himself a big injury, then he has to go out on a loan. Mount and his daddy are calling Man United home. They are traitors. All his stands can leave. He could win Ballon d'Or. We don't care. Yeah, we don't care. Absolutely, we don't care. All right. Next up, ladies and gentlemen, official David Fofana has joined Union Berlin on a season-long loan. So that's official from Chelsea Football Club. The announcement was made literally a couple of hours ago. So good luck to him. I wish him all the best, and I hope he absolutely kills it in Bundesliga. And this is another thing. You know how all these people, we're looking for Vlahovic, we're looking for Lautaro Martinez. What is the plan for David Fofana? What is the plan for Armando Broja? What is the plan for Nicholas Jackson? So we have to think about all of this, right? So before we go out there and splash 65 to 70 million, right? 65 to 70 million on Vlahovic. What is the plan on these people? So it's something to think about. Look, I'm on board with getting a new striker. I really am. I'm on board in getting a new striker because all of these strikers are young. I understand that. But these strikers that are in the market that we're linked with, they don't give me full confidence that, yeah, that's the one. Like if it was Victor Osimhen, I'd be like, yeah, that's your man. But Osimhen's going to cost too much money. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, last but not least, Chelsea will allow Tino Anjorin to go on loan next season after outlining their belief that the club academy midfielder can progress. Belief that the academy midfielder can progress at the club. So, look, when I saw Tino Anjorin last preseason, he looked so good. I actually believed in Tino Anjorin. He just gave me that Ruben Loftus-Cheek vibe. And now, look, he's probably following the footsteps of Ruben Loftus-Cheek with all these injuries that he's copying. He needs a solid loan. He does. He needs a solid loan before we can think about him properly. But he's got the talent, man. He's got the skill set. But injuries are ruining his career, his early stages of his career. Injuries halted his progress in CS. Was he in Lokomotiv Moscow? I think he was in Lokomotiv Moscow. Injury ruined that. And then he was he in Huddersfield? I think he was in Huddersfield, wasn't he? I think he was in Huddersfield. And then I don't know what happened there in Huddersfield, whether he got injured again. I think he might have got injured. So look, let's see what he does in this preseason. And then he definitely needs a loan. And hopefully he can stay away from injuries, ladies and gentlemen. All right. We're going to slowly wrap things up. Aubameyang, someone saying Oba, he needs to go too. He needs to go badly. Let's take some of your final comments. Before we go, ladies and gentlemen, smash the like button. Get those likes up to well over 400. We got way over 600 people, and we only got 188 likes. I'm pretty certain you guys have enjoyed this live stream. So smash the like button. If you're here for the first time, subscribe as well. What happened to Oba? He's on his holidays still. He and Ziyech should have been the easiest players to get rid of. Yeah, now Oba, he's gonna go. I think there's interest from Saudi Arabia. I think there's interest from Steven Gerrard's club that he's moved on to in Saudi Arabia, Al Ittifaq. So yeah, I don't understand why Aubameyang's still sticking around, and much like Ziyech as well. Why are they sticking around? Nizar says CFC will only push for a striker if Poch really wants a new striker. They're happy to go into the season with Nkunku and Jackson. Yeah, so this preseason is quite important. I'm happy to go with what we have right now if they show some level of quality in the preseason. We are all overlooking Nkunku, like Alex said on his space yesterday, and Sterling will only get better. So almost 30 to 40 goals and assists between these two. Yeah, that's why I don't want to panic. I really don't want to panic. Honestly, I do not want to panic at all. RS7 off topic, but I hope your daughter is doing well, Miss. Thank you, my man. RS7, that hit the heart, bro. That hit the heart. Not many people come around and asking me if my daughter's doing well. Thank you so much, man. She's going to be 5 months at the end of this month. Alhamdulillah, she's doing good. Thank you for asking, man. That got me all heavy-hearted, man. That really did get me all heavy-hearted. I love my daughter, man. If any of you guys ever get the pleasure of having a daughter one day, you'll know. You'll know what I'm talking about, man. You'll know what I'm talking about. All right, we're going to slowly wrap things up. Mason, cool. Big up, Miz. Have a good day, bro. Like the video. Thank you so much, man. Thank you. Appreciate that. All right. Dominic, Miz live stream is fantastic. Big up, man. I hope we get Caicedo tomorrow, Thursday. Hopefully we do. All right. Hope you guys have enjoyed this. Take care and see ya. Bye.